Fox News' liberal Jessica Tarlov had some heartbreaking facts to point out pertaining to the state of MAGA within the Republican Party after the South Carolina primary, and whether or not they're as unified as a party as they like to pretend, or as Donald Trump likes to bolster in his speeches. And she was joined by none other than lifelong Republican Trey Gowdy, who surprisingly echoed her sentiment. Let's hear first what he had to say, and then we'll jump over to Jessica.
In terms of unity, though, Brett, I mean, has he looked at the House of Representatives lately? Has he looked at the GOP Senate? I don't see a unified party. I see a party where over half of her supporters right now would not vote for him.
And that's just it. Even in Congress, Republicans can't get along, with half of them working with Democrats to pass border legislation and the other half saying it was dead on arrival, half wanting to get the impeachment nonsense out of the way and try to keep the government functioning, and the other half not caring if it shuts down as long as they can use it for political gain. And it's really caused this rift that we've seen grow wider and wider within the right, and it manifests itself within the inefficiencies that we see in Congress and reflects back on voting and voters as well, where let's jump to Jessica quickly to hear how she sums it up.
Independents, and 59% of Nikki Haley's voters say they won't support him in the general election if he's the Republican nominee. That mirrors what we have been seeing in Iowa and New Hampshire, and that's really what he needs to work on.
60% of Nikki Haley voters won't vote for Trump come the general election, and you have to remember that she represents the bulk of the moderate vote, both in terms of independents and even the more moderate conservative Republicans, and that number goes up even higher if they're asked about Trump being convicted of a crime before that time comes, which hardly shows a party unified behind Trump or behind a common goal. If you look at Congress, they can hardly agree on anything. And really, it's all chaos that the Republican wing are trying to sell off as fashionable gold shoes. You can't insulate yourself within your own party and then expect to win a general election. That's just not how these things work. You have to pull over moderates, you have to pull over independents. And this is why you see Biden so much more confident about facing a Trump, and how elected Democrats don't share the same worry that maybe some of the polls are reflecting, because the weaknesses are there and the cracks are already beginning to show. You even have lifelong Republicans like Trey Gowdy and Brian Kemp already speaking out against it. And as his cases get further litigated and more charges come to fruition, it only mounts more pressure and more negativity on Trump's already fragile candidacy. If you enjoyed this video, we're Social Society. We're a commentary channel influenced by politics, society, and the economy. We are pretty left-leaning on this channel, but we're open to our right-wingers as well. The biggest thing here is having conversations that get everyone to the bottom of the truth. If that sounds like something that could interest you, consider smashing that subscribe button, leaving us a like, or even commenting on this video. We even have memberships available as low as $3 if you'd like to support, because the only way we become a society is together.